In the words of Martin Luther King Jr., a riot is the language of the unheard. Throughout history, this language has been spoken by countless individuals, communities, and movements, all with a common goal: to challenge oppression, demand change, and ignite social transformation. From the civil rights movements in the United States and anti-apartheid protests in South Africa, to political revolutions like the Arab Spring and the Velvet Revolution, the power of protest has been a catalyst for change. These are stories of resilience and determination, of ordinary people confronting injustice and inequality, and in doing so, shaping the course of history. As we prepare to journey through these pivotal moments, we'll explore the strategies, sacrifices, and successes that have defined these movements. So, as we delve into these movements, remember the words of King and consider the power of the unheard. Our journey begins in the heart of the United States, during the Civil Rights Movement, a time when the voice of protest echoed through the corridors of power. Led by courageous figures like Martin Luther King Jr., his dream of a nation where all citizens are judged by their character, not the color of their skin, became the rallying cry for millions demanding equality. As the cry for justice reverberated across the globe, it found resonance in the far corners of South Africa, where another struggle was underway. The anti-apartheid movement, led by the indomitable spirit of Nelson Mandela, was a testament to the power of protest. Mandela's unyielding resolve in the face of brutal oppression inspired a nation to stand against racial segregation and discrimination. These movements challenged racial segregation and discrimination, igniting a global conversation about racial equality. They serve as potent reminders of the transformative power of collective action and the enduring impact of the human spirit. Next, we turn to political revolutions, where the people rose against oppressive regimes. The Arab Spring, a series of anti-government protests, uprisings, and armed rebellions that spread across the Middle East in early 2011, is one such instance. Sparked by the self-immolation of a Tunisian vendor, this wave of protest challenged dictatorial regimes, demanding democratic reforms. From Tunisia to Egypt, from Libya to Yemen, citizens defied the status quo, igniting a flame that would burn across the region. On the other side of the globe, years earlier, the Velvet Revolution in Czechoslovakia stood testament to the power of peaceful protest. In late November of 1989, a student demonstration against the communist regime swelled into a 500,000-strong protest in the heart of Prague. This non-violent uprising led to the downfall of the communist government, and within a year, Czechoslovakia held its first democratic elections in over 4 decades. Both the Arab Spring and the Velvet Revolution serve as potent examples of how people can mobilize to challenge oppressive regimes and advocate for democratic reforms. These movements, though separated by time and geography, share a common thread: the unwavering belief of ordinary people in their power to bring about extraordinary changes. These revolutions marked a turning point, demonstrating the power of grassroots movements in shaping political landscapes. In the present day, the spirit of protest continues to thrive, taking on new forms and addressing new challenges. The global climate strikes, for instance, have emerged as a potent force for environmental advocacy. Led by young activists like Greta Thunberg, these strikes have rallied millions worldwide, demanding urgent action on climate change. Through these strikes, a generation is making its voice heard, challenging complacency, and prompting a global conversation on the future of our planet. Simultaneously, the Black Lives Matter movement has brought the issue of racial inequality and police reform to the forefront. Born out of a desperate cry for justice, it has grown into a global campaign for racial equality, becoming a catalyst for conversations on systemic racism. It has galvanized communities across the globe, prompting introspection, dialogue, and action on racial injustice. These two movements, distinct yet interconnected, are testament to the power of protest in our contemporary world. They speak not only of the challenges we face, but also of our capacity to confront them, united in purpose and resolve. These movements remind us of the enduring significance of collective action in effecting meaningful change. From past to present, these protests share a common thread: the power of the people. They demonstrate the enduring influence of collective action in challenging oppression, inspiring solidarity, and shaping history. As we continue to confront inequality and injustice, remember the power of protest, the power of the unheard.